Hello. Hi guys. Okay, well, I posted I don't want to call it an article, like an update on my Facebook yesterday. I told you guys about my maternal grandfather. He was educated in the United Kingdom, Cardiff for university to be precise. And after he was done with his education, he returned back to Nigeria. I also mentioned to you that my grandmother also joined him at this time, and they both returned back to Nigeria because there were no good incentives to stay in the United Kingdom. The the exchange rate was not that different, so you might as well have a, what do you call it, the British pound and a cobalt, and you have the weight will be the same, or the value will be the same. So and they both returned back to Nigeria. My grandfather retired as a principal, and my grandmother retired as a headmistress, and of blessed memory to both. So, and my father, who is also a professor of counseling psychology, as you all know, at the University of Ibadan, also turned down some offers to study in the United Kingdom and other developed countries at the time. He finished his undergrad at Bafemi Awolowo University, and he also did his master's and PhD at the University of Ibadan, where he's now currently a professor. So, and when I asked him, I said, "Why didn't you go to United Kingdom or America this way? You know, your mom would have given birth to me there. I would have been a U.S. citizen right away, you know." And he laughed. He laughed because he was like, "Well, back then we didn't see any big deal traveling abroad. You know, there was nothing so peculiar about it. So, and now, I mean, back then as well, they were served 3 square meals. You know, graduate, undergraduate, everybody. They they had big, not just a small portion of food, a big chunk of chicken, turkey, whatever. I mean, good food, protein, carbohydrate, fruits, and everything. And I was like, wow, did that actually happen in Nigeria? Or are you just trying to make me feel good right now? And he was quite honest. He said, yeah, all these good stuff happened in the past. They had a scholarship to go to college, and right out of college, they had good jobs, good paying jobs. There was no greed at this time. There was no corruption. I mean, no, not totally, but you get what I'm saying. They they were selfless. Let me put it that way. So wealth was not concentrated in just uh, among a few people in the society. Some professions were seen as noble. As a teacher, regardless whether a primary school teacher or a secondary school or teacher, they were proud of their professions. Government clerks, government or typist, or government or secretary. You know, jobs that today people will look at with disgust, like, oh, God forbid, I will never be a teacher. But back then they took pride in what they did. And this is a real story. While I was growing up, I once thought of becoming a teacher because of the kind of pride that I thought the profession, accorded to its people. And over time, that changed. And it's a shame. So I asked my followers on Facebook that what happened, where did things go wrong, better still, who lost Nigeria, because here we are now. I am in the United States, okay, and we have an eccentric president in the person of Donald Trump, who is threatening to deport all immigrants, even though he doesn't understand that he can't just lump all immigrants together. There are more than 20 statutory classifications of immigrants. So he doesn't understand that, but that was why he fumbled his first executive action on immigration. He fumbled the rollout. So here we have been treated as a second class or citizen in the United States and other European countries. In fact, in South Africa, as most of you know, I did a video a couple of days ago. I was so disgusted, about the kind of reports emanating from South Africa. We have Nigerians, who are contributing positively to the economy of South Africa, and who had in the past also showed some sympathy to the people of South Africa while they were being marginalized under the apartheid regime. Now the same South Africans are maltreating Nigeria. So it is kind of worrisome, that we are now in this kind of precarious or calamitous situation. So I don't know how we can change this country. I'm talking about Nigeria, because I can care less about what Donald Trump is going to do about America, because I know that America has a very strong institution that can weather the kind of authoritarian tendency that Trump is beginning to show, although that won't go on forever. As you can tell from the recent Ninth Circuit Court ruling on his current immigration plan. So my concern is about Nigeria, because I want let me say it this way, because my people, Yoruba people, will say akin pele de taba pele de ede la pada si. No matter how long you stay abroad, you have to go back home. So one day I'll be back in Nigeria, and I am beginning to think that how can I set a good foundation for myself in Nigeria? You see, I like collective prosperity, but I love individual prosperity, because I'm a capitalist oriented guy. So even though I want the country to succeed, individual ambition always has to be taken into account as well. Because if each of us can pursue our own individual dream, then the country will be better as a whole. We don't have to rely on the government. I've had these conversation or arguments or dialogue with people from different stripes, and some people have told me that we have to fix the government, we have to fix the the system and all that. But yeah, I agree. I'm not disputing that. It is okay. It is a noble thing to do. We have to fix the government, but at the same time, we have to fix ourselves as well. So we have to also do some personal reflection. We try to look at what, if you look at Nigeria right now, there is something wrong with the government, and at the same time, there is something wrong with individuals as well. So we have to change, we have to revolutionize our ethos. We have to have new ideas. We cannot continue to blame the government for everything. Of course, the government is responsible for most of these problems, these structural problems, I should say. but individually we have our own fault as well. So blames can go around. That's what I'm trying to say. So we should also be good citizens. But how can we begin to change? Because in America, this is how I understand it. In America, individuals go about their own pursuit, whether of wealth or happiness or whatever. You pursue your own agenda, and with the hope that you contribute to or meaningfully to the society. So that is how you A does its own is our own thing, B does is our own thing, C does is our own thing, and all that. And then the belief is that aggregately, these goodwill will turn to something great, and that is how society develops into a prosperous one. If you have one individual pursuing a good agenda, then that's a problem. That's why in America you have more than 20 billionaires. You have tons of billionaires. Okay, so you have competition going on among people. People don't pay attention to the government in the United States. It is interesting. People don't believe it. And when I see people on Facebook shouting on Facebook about Donald Trump, about Obama, I've been in America for more than 7 years. I can care less about what Obama does, or what Trump does, or what any president might be doing, I should say, as well. Okay, it's not that we don't care about the government. We do care about the government in the United States, but we don't let that preoccupy our own individual activities. We tend to let the government, we give the government some breathing space, and we go about our own individual pursuit. Okay, so and you have to understand this. Even though the government can put the structure in place, individuals must also do their own part to make things better. And I like that about Americans. And this is interesting. During the election, people don't know this. During the election, only I believe 20% or 30% of Americans actually voted or even participated in the election. Why? Because they don't care. They have this belief system that the institution will work. Okay, they believe in the supremacy of the institution. They strongly believe that the government will do the right thing, and they understand the separation of power. They know that the president cannot do something outside of the Constitution, and they understand what James Madison wrote in the Federalist paper, the notion of factionalism. So they understand that factions will arise naturally to be a bulwark against authoritarianism. What does that mean? So if you have an ambitious individual trying to overwhelm the system, there is a likelihood that another ambitious individual will rise just to block the momentum of that other ambitious individual, and that is good for the society, because if you can curtail someone's ambition, then there will be competition, and then there is a likelihood that that person will not become a drag or become an encumbrance on the society. So we should have the same kind of understanding in Nigeria. I want Nigerians to be productive. Don't spend your energy on stupid things. I understand that people want to be on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and I am guilty of that as well. But one thing is this: I have to tell you, I do not mess around when it comes to my own private endeavor. You can see me on Facebook when I'm preparing for my class or reading cases or preparing for my finals. I don't do that. I try to. The only time you see me on Facebook, is when I have some time to burn. Okay, so I don't always appear on Facebook just for the sake of doing stupid stuff. I try to limit my availability on Facebook. So this critique is not to shame anybody. This is I'm also trying to learn some stuff about Nigeria. Why is Nigeria still struggling after decades of independence from the United Kingdom? And I think we all need to do some soul searching, and we have to come up with some solutions. The government is not always the solution. That's one thing I believe. I go to school in America, and I did my undergrad at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At the time Obama was the president, I never had anything to do with the federal government. All my interactions were with the local government. I met with more local politicians than national politicians, and I was able to convey my my own grievances directly to my local officials, and they did something. They helped me out. I remember there was a time I applied for a scholarship with the Pennsylvania government, and it was not processed on time because of some paperwork and all that. And I emailed my city council woman at the time, and swiftly she took on my case, and within a matter of weeks my scholarship was processed. And so that's the beauty of democracy, or let me say, a typical government should work like that. So I hope that Nigerians will come together, or they will pursue their own individual agendas, and probably aggregately things will begin to take shape. It behooves every Nigerian to do the right thing, to pursue his or her own agenda in order to contribute to our collective prosperity. And it also behooves the government to create a structure that we can all thrive in. On that note, I want to say thank you for listening, and I'll be back for more discussions. Thank you. Bye for now. Where do I stop this?